Elliot gently perched on the rooftop of his apartment building, his legs softly swaying over the ledge. The stars twinkled serenely, casting a gentle glow in the clear night sky of his tranquil town. This was his haven, a place of calm and inspiration, far from the noise and clutter of his tiny apartment and the endless demands of the world below. The last few months had been challenging. Elliot had lost his job at a cafe, one he cherished and thought he'd keep until he could save enough for college. His art supplies, once a way of expressing himself and unwinding, lay waiting for the moment he would pick them up again. What once inspired him now felt like a challenge to overcome, a dream that he was determined to hold on to. He leaned back against the rough brick and took a deep breath, feeling a spark of resilience inside. The feeling of hopelessness had crept in slowly like a shadow stretching across the ground. But now he could see a glimmer of light breaking through. Each day felt like a new opportunity, every step forward a small victory. People told him to stay positive, to keep going, to focus on the bright side. And each attempt to do so felt a bit more genuine. Here, on the rooftop, there was something grounding about the quiet. He could see the entire town sprawled out before him, the streetlights glowing softly, painting little halos over the buildings. He wasn't sure why he kept coming up here. Maybe it was the air, so different from the stale atmosphere inside, or the stars that seemed to blink back at him with an ancient resilience he didn't understand but felt inspired by. One quiet night he arrived with a backpack. Inside he carried his sketchbook, a few pencils, and a warm thermos of coffee. He settled under the twinkling stars, took a deep breath, and opened the book to a blank page. At first the pencil hovered gently in his hand as he searched for something to draw. Slowly, he began sketching the town below, each familiar building appearing in delicate, simple lines. Hours drifted by and Elliot felt a peace he hadn't known in months. In the weeks that followed, this became his soothing ritual. He'd come up to the rooftop, sketch, and simply exist. With each gentle stroke of the pencil, hope began to bloom within him. One peaceful night, as he was gently packing up, he noticed someone quietly standing on a nearby rooftop. She was leaning over the edge, gazing thoughtfully across the town, much like he often did. He watched her for a while, feeling a gentle spark of curiosity and hope. A few nights later, as he sat quietly with his sketchbook, he heard soft footsteps. Startled, he looked up to see the same girl approaching. She gave a shy smile and gently gestured to the empty space beside him. "Mind if I sit?" He shook his head, feeling a warm sense of connection. "Of course." They sat in silence for a while, the weight of unspoken words gently hanging between them. She finally spoke, her voice soft and warm. "I'm Maya. I've seen you up here a few times and wondered if you come up here for the same reason I do." "What's that?" he asked, his tone gentle. She smiled softly. "Just to find something. Peace, maybe." She paused, her eyes reflecting a quiet hope. Or hope. The word resonated with Elliot, but he didn't respond. Lost in his own thoughts, she continued, her voice a soothing lullaby. "I moved here recently, had to leave everything behind. I thought a fresh start would be enough, but it feels harder than I expected." Elliot nodded slowly. "I know the feeling. It's like you try to keep going, but everything just weighs you down." Maya looked at him thoughtfully. "You draw?" Elliot looked down at his sketchbook, flipping it open to reveal a few sketches. She leaned in, her eyes wide with admiration. "These are amazing. It's like you captured the heartbeat of this town." He smiled, a rare feeling of pride gently washing over him. For a moment he saw his work through her eyes, saw the beauty he'd somehow created despite everything. They spent the rest of the night sharing stories of dreams and struggles, of hopes and aspirations. It was a rare and unexpected connection, something he hadn't realized he needed, filling him with a gentle sense of hope. Over the following months, Elliot and Maya's rooftop meetings became a sanctuary of inspiration. They would sit, sketch, and talk about life, their voices carrying into the night air, filled with dreams and possibilities. Maya gently encouraged him to submit some of his drawings to a local gallery. At first, Elliot hesitated, fearing rejection. But with her unwavering belief in him, he finally agreed. He submitted a small series of his rooftop sketches, ones he'd made in the serene moments when hope felt tangible. The gallery owner called him a few days later. One of his pieces had been selected for an exhibit. The news ignited a spark within him, like a door opening to a room filled with light. The hope that had once seemed distant now felt within reach, vibrant and real. The exhibit brought him more attention than he'd imagined, and soon, he was selling a few pieces here and there, enough to finally save a little for his dreams of college. One peaceful evening, months after he'd first climbed up to the rooftop in search of quiet, Elliot found himself back there, sitting beside Maya as the stars twinkled gently above them. He turned to her, his heart filled with a warm sense of gratitude. "Thank you, Maya, for being here, for helping me see the light when I couldn't." Maya smiled softly, her eyes shining with the same resilience he had once admired. We all need someone to remind us of our strength. Sometimes it just takes someone else to see it in us first. The stars stretched endlessly above them, a vast universe of endless possibilities. And for the first time in a long time, Elliot felt something inside him ignite, a sense of hope so strong that he knew no matter what, he would keep moving forward.